Good evening, folks. Thanks for joining us this evening as it's our favorite time of year where the person of the year is chosen. Today, we are covering this year's finalist, Mr. Kenneth F. Woods, the man, the myth, the legend. Many folks are weighing in on this one, and we're going to kick off tonight by tuning into BMW Sports as they run down the stats on Kenneth Woods. Let's see what the guys are saying about the man, the myth, the legend.
He don't believe that's the funny part. He can go with the average 20 still.
Well, we're here to talk about the man of the year, Kenneth Woods. And I think it's interesting that a man that grew up in the Lincoln Heights community in West Charlotte is somebody we're talking about for man of the year.
I mean, well, that's a very prominent part of, I'm not from the area, but I've heard it's a very prominent part of Charlotte. So it makes sense that someone of his stature would come from a place like that. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, I mean, Charlotte did raise a banker that lasted over 30 years in one of the hardest industries.
But you know, he's a banker. This is the only banker that I know that is not on the Forbes list. I don't know how that works out if you're a banker not to be on the Forbes list.
It's still early.
Okay.
It's still, you know, he has a back nine to play. Okay. He's on the front nine. He got a back nine.
He's also been married 52 years and has 3 kids. They went through college successfully.
Yeah.
At HBCUs ain't cheap.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I think that might be a little bit of reason why that money gone.
Okay, and it's funny because we're talking about a man when he was growing up. You know, I think he got kicked out of school in elementary for throwing paint on somebody.
Wait, not the man of the year. I know.
My sources are pretty reliable.
I'm sure they are, but I just can't fathom that a man of that dignified would do something that juvenile.
I mean, he is a Green Bay Packers fan.
He is, and his last name is Woods, and I also heard that he and his cousins, when they were little, started a fire in the woods that their aunt didn't know they started, and the Charlotte police and fire were called, and apparently he was involved in that. That's what we're still talking about man of the year.
We are, and we're going to get back to it in a second. I'm getting the cue from my person.
Well, folks, you've heard it here first on Black Men Watching Sports. Mr. Kenneth Woods, Man of the Year, the man, the myth, the legend, has quite the story, and we're looking forward to covering more about his legacy when we return. You're watching BMW Sports. Well, folks, thanks for joining us again as we are discussing Man of the Year, Mr. Kenneth Woods, the man, the myth, the legend. Let's get back to our BMW Sports crew to see what else they have to say about this legendary figure.
I guess the information about the fire in the woods, I mean, that is a myth. You know, I had sources that shared it with me, but it is mythical. We never verified if that was actually true. So, you know, what else do we know about this?
Well, sources say, so we're going to go on the sources say, that he's owed money or owes money to some Hollywood, I don't know.
Samuel
Jackson.
That's the one. Samuel Jackson, I believe, owes him like $20 from before he got kicked out of college.
Now keep in mind, this is back in like the 30s. So back then, $6 was a lot of money.
The 30s is crazy.
That was a lot of money.
Oh, I have that it was during the 50s.
He lived a long life. Oh, he could have been a founding member.
Well, we've been corrected. It was in the 70s.
Got it.
Thank you.
What
I have heard, though his wife is the daughter of a band director, he actually plays more instruments than she does.
Really?
That's debatable whether he plays more instruments than he does. But I have heard. I think so.
I may have heard. I heard the story too. I heard he was a trumpet player, and that at one point in time he played in James Brown's band.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I did
James
not know
Brown's
that.
band?
He was one of the Flames.
That's a bad man right
He was one of the
there.
famous Flames.
That's a bad man.
And speaking of Augusta, the myth is he played Augusta National.
Is that right?
Now,
Was it at the Masters?
I don't know.
Maybe the Masters was going on like the week before.
That's probably
And he
what
was
it
like,
is.
"Hey y'all, let me just get a quick little back nine in. I'm gonna just."
He was visiting.
Now,
Visiting.
I heard there's a myth that his wife bought him a ball finder, but his friend Ronald Jazzy Kennedy uses it more than he does when they're out playing golf. I don't know. We got to figure out if that's true.
We can explain it because sources say that he's never hit a bad shot. He knows where it is at all times, so it's like the best shot has to be his.
Yeah, never been in the water.
No.
If your wife's buying you a ball finder, that speaks for itself.
Well, that's just because, she knows he likes the golf. And you know what? I'm going to get him something.
Cool toy.
Yeah.
He
Here,
doesn't
you
like a
know.
cool toy. He's clearly a mythical person. So
And apparently quite legendary also. And we'll get into legends in about 2 more minutes.
Thanks for joining us as we cover this year's Man of the Year, Mr. Kenneth F. Woods. As you can imagine, many are wanting to weigh in on this one, and we had a chance to catch up with some of those up-and-coming players as they hit the green preparing for this year's Masters. Stay tuned with us, folks, as you don't want to miss out on what the next generation has to say about the man, the myth, the legend.
Happy 75th birthday, Grandpa. Love you.
Oh, everybody knows the man, the myth, the legend, my papa. He's definitely person of the year. He's got the best golf swing, the biggest smile, and he's never mad. He's been winning at life for 75 years, and I think that deserves a trophy and a high five.
Well, you've heard it here first on BMW Sports. Kenneth Woods is trending as the perfect choice for the Man of the Year. When we return, we have a little birdie that wants to weigh in on this conversation, and we hear that she is the one you want to listen to. Stay tuned as you don't want to miss the man, the myth, the legend.
Person of the year? Oh, that's easy. My papa. He is the best golfer ever. He is kind. He is cool. And I heard he has awesome grandkids too. Go ahead and give him the award.
Welcome back to our final segment of the Man of the Year. It seems that many have made their selection, and we will close out the night with lasting thoughts from our BMW Sports crew on Kenneth F. Woods, the man, the myth, the legend.
He's the Man of the Year. There are some truths and some fallacies, but in between all of that, a legend is created about this guy. He's just, a legend might be too small of a word. Icon, I think, really speaks to who he is as a man. He's just been, a huge figure in his family, in his community. He's just, selfless, loving, caring, always willing to give his time to others. And that just speaks to, his upbringing, as you mentioned, in West Charlotte, and just him being just, you know, an overall good man, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he is legendary when you think about, you talked about his willingness to help people, and, you know, that is legendary, whether it be financial or just his support and presence. He's legendary in that aspect. A lot of people can speak to that. He's legendary not only in Charlotte, but in the Atlanta community, being a part of Leadership DeKalb, 100 Black Men of Atlanta, just doing a lot of different things in the metro Atlanta area that people still call him for to this day.
All right. Well, the legend of Ken Woods, the banker started at Wachovia, and it ended at Wells Fargo. But a funny story about that, the Wachovia job, he left that to go to Decatur's First Union. But Decatur First Union ended up merging back with Wachovia, sent him back to where he came from. But they ended up merging at the end to Wells Fargo. But Ken Woods, the man, is much bigger than Ken Woods, the banker. As a man, he's a hardworking father of 3 beautiful children and a husband to a beautiful wife, who will always knows just what to say to help you out of a situation or a thought process that you're going through. He's always, as Keenan said, willing to give a helping hand, or if he can't help you, send you in the direction of someone that can. And more than anything in the world, he's a legendary man to me.
Now, speaking of being legendary, you know, legend has it that he and his wife Deborah are the actual motivating source behind the Cosby Show, or the Fresh Prince.
She gives
parental figures.
She gives Aunt Viv. I can see that.
She definitely
The first
gives
one. The first Aunt Viv.
A lot of people say Cliff and Claire. My personal experience, I think he's more Philip Banks, and she's definitely the original Aunt Viv, in my opinion. But I can see how they would be legend in that.
I'm sorry, I had to break character. I'm sorry, that was great. That was great.
Hey, as someone who married into the family, I can definitely tell you I attest to them being the Cosbys. I thought the same thing at first.
I too have married into this wonderful group of people, and I can say that he is all of those just amazing Black TV dads. You got your Carl Winslows, Dee's husband from Moesha, Frank, just an inspirational Black father across the board, real and fictional.
I stand by it, Philip Banks. That is who he is. That is who he's always been.
I mean, the hair is
And
similar.
he's legendary.
The hair is similar, but the weight is not. Slim and trim, baby.
Ken Woods.
Man of the year. Congrats, bro.
Congratulations.